I want to highlight What's the Furthest Place from Here, a comic by creative team Matthew Rosenberg and Tyler Boss that just came out from Image. Return viewers may remember that What's the Furthest Place from Here was my future pick in episode 1. I was very excited about Rosenberg and Boss's post-apocalyptic coming-of-age story. I liked their previous team-ups. 4 Kids Walk Into a Bank and We Can Never Go Home are both solid, and this promised to retread some of those themes while more directly incorporating music and punk rock aesthetic. I mean, it takes its name from a Jawbreakers song. The promo art looked intriguing. I'm here so soon talking about a book that's only 1 issue deep for 2 reasons. The first is that it fucking rules. There's so much to love about What's the Furthest Place from Here that I struggled figuring out where to start. It's an almost perfect cross-section of my interest and elements I'm drawn to. There's an expertly characterized cast of misfits. It has punk rock authenticity from Easter eggs to influence. It's reminiscent of 80s coming-of-age stories and outsider cinema. There's gang violence, big ideas, and attention to detail. The places it pulls from and the things it does with those elements is instantly engaging, but at no point does it feel derivative. It's not drowning in references or gatekeeping with its counterculture love. Instead, it assembles itself in a way to be greater than the sum of its parts. A triple-sized issue that takes its time on character moments, but doesn't lack action. The world building is subtle but incredibly effective. Clearly a cooperative, creative endeavor in the best way. Rosenberg uses dialogue incredibly well, avoiding longer, detailed exposition dumps in favor of small but important character beats that reveal bits and pieces of much larger goings-on to come. Boss's combination of thick outlines and small details always impresses me, and the record room and title pages are perfect examples that show off his talents, but the deliberate pacing of the panels and some of the action sequences and the way that multiple simultaneous events are cut together for thematic and emotional effect is next level. Cinematic, but in a way that only a comic can properly achieve. A quick synopsis, society is over, and kids have themed gangs in a world without adults. Think Warriors meets Sweet Tooth. When kids grow old, they're sent away to the mysterious wasteland never to be heard from again. These gangs are found family, and our protagonist gang is called the Academy. They occupy a record store, and that ties directly into their culture. Records are chosen that represent each youth. The main character, Sid, is pregnant, and she thinks she's found meaning in Hall & Oates. Her gruff friend Pruff points her towards SSD control instead. And it's in this way that music and counterculture is centered thematically. And then things happen. It's only 1 issue, so I don't want to get too deep into the who's and the what's. But I cannot wait for more. Which brings me to the second reason I'm talking about a book I just previewed that's only had 1 issue. I want you to get on this train. It's a good fucking train. Unfortunately, it may only leave the station once. There's a serious printer and paper shortage, which may make a second print run impossible. Matthew Rosenberg detailed this in a Twitter thread recently, but the short of it is that the comic industry is a very specific microcosm that very much relies on multiple print runs, especially in the indie comic realm. If this book sounds like it might be up your alley, you need to hit up your local comic store and pre-order it. Final cutoff for issue 2 will have just passed by the time this comes out, but issue 3's cutoff is December 13th. So get your orders in and hop on board because it's going to be a hell of a ride.